I would just sit in my car and scream for hours. I would just scream because I was so angry. Like, I would break things. I would take anything I could find and just break it. It was just like this frustration that I couldn't deal with. God really grabbed my heart when I hit a point in my life where there was nowhere else to go. Like, there was nobody to talk to. There was no joy left. I had run out of all of me. I've run out. I ran out of everything. I ran out of joy. I ran out of, I'm a very musical person. I ran out of my desire to make music. I just had nothing left, and I said, my whole life I had known that there was a God. I had known that God cared for me. I had known these things. I'd always had this connection with God. I had prayed. I knew that God had good plans for me, but I had just come to the point where I just didn't really care, and I wanted what I wanted, and that was that. And I tried to kind of just do what God wanted me to do, but in doing that, what I thought God wanted me to do, I wasn't doing what God wanted me to do. And I was running away from His Spirit, running away from His calling on my life. Got into smoking pot, got into drinking heavily. Just like trying to get back to that place where I was filled with joy, where I had something to hope for. I had some sort of drive, some sort of goal. But what I lived for was this false sense of self. Like, I had this idea of myself that I was this creative, super, and like I am creative, I am imaginative, I am musical, but I had a false sense of it. Like, when I was in this time of smoking pot, this time of drinking and whatever else I was doing, it was a false sense of self. It was a picture, but it wasn't really me. And I realized that when it started to just fade. Like, I would smoke a joint and I would feel so empty. And I was like, it didn't used to feel like this. It didn't used to feel like I was empty. It used to feel fulfilling. It used to feel fun. It used to feel exciting. And now it just feels dull. It feels dark, and it feels lonely. And I didn't have friends. I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have anything. This is really all I had was like my pot and my booze. Those are my friends. And it was a really sad, empty life that I thought was something great. And it came to a point where I would cry when I was high. Like, I would get high because I just, like, that's just what I needed. I thought I needed it. And I would cry. And I would cry out to God, and I would say, I can't do this anymore. Like, I would just be so empty. And I would just say, God, I cannot do this anymore, because I knew that it was not normal, that I couldn't live without it. Like, I couldn't drive without smoking pot. I couldn't draw. I couldn't make music. I couldn't do anything without it. And I understood at that point that that's what I was using to come up with this sense of who I am. And it was all false. Everything, it didn't actually exist. This sense of myself didn't truly exist. And once I started coming to God, I started to see who I really am. I started to understand that God did give me gifts of creativity. He did give me gifts of music. He did. God gave me so much more than I could have ever found myself within myself. God gave me songs of worship. I love writing worship music now. And that's one thing that brought me out was I sat on my floor one night and I just wrote a song, and it said, Lord, I don't want to be all alone, so I welcome you in to my home. I welcome you in. And Lord, just fill me up and take everything else out. And that was when I felt free from weed. I felt free from alcohol. That is when God truly set me free. And I was actually in this relationship with a guy, and this was shortly after I ended up just leaving him one night and sleeping in my car. And I was like, Lord, I just can't do it anymore. I was like, this isn't the life I want to live. Like, he's not a Christian guy. There's no, like, he was super musical, very, very gifted musician. And I really did love him, but I just couldn't stay with him. And I knew that if I wanted to pursue coming to God, I had to give that up. I had to give up that love that I had for him in order to pursue God. And that was something that was very difficult, but God taught me through that there is good after sacrifice. If you are willing to sacrifice something that you have found for yourself, if you're willing to sacrifice something that you really, really, really love in order to pursue God, He will bless you. God is going to bless you. And so the day after I left him, I went to what's that church in Regina? The Healing Hearts Ministries in Regina. And the moment I walked in to the sanctuary area where they held the church service, I just started to cry. And I was like, and one of the guys walked up to me. He said, are you okay? I was like, I've just been looking for church. And it was just like, I felt the Spirit of God that day. And I knew that that's where God had put me. I was on the right track. I had never felt that love, that peace, that heavy weight of God on my heart ever before that day. And that was when I said, yeah, this is right. Like, I sacrificed that relationship. I came there the next day and I found a relationship in Jesus that I could have never found in that guy. I could have never found it in weed, and I could have never found it in booze. God had given me that love, that goodness. His Spirit had come upon me and I felt it. And that was only because I was willing to sacrifice those things that I loved. Those pictures of my own self, I was willing to let them go and allow God to show me who He created me to be.